The moment you decide you're that girl is the moment you start to become her. And I personally want to help you level up and stop sleeping on your potential. Hi everyone, welcome back to Not Overthinking It podcast. I'm Elisabeth, your host. Today we're diving into my list of non-negotiables for becoming that girl. Whether you're 1 in a rut or 2, you have no idea where to start. So grab your comfort drink and get ready to take some notes. But first, our quote of the day, with or without you, my plans don't change. And this is a quote that I have been drawn to ever since I was in middle school. I was a Tumblr girl. I would be on there, be in my feels. I would have had my heart broken from some middle school boy, and I would use Tumblr as my therapy almost. So I remember I saw that quote and I was like, so drawn to it. It was obviously so powerful. I still think about it to this day. It still holds true. Like even in friendships, in relationships, with or without you, my plans don't change. And that's a mindset that we're going to instill in today's episode. It means having trust in yourself and in your plan, regardless of external circumstances, and relying on other people for either validation for their company, and just sticking to the plans that you make for yourself. You want to make yourself happy. You want to live the life of your dreams, and nobody should be able to get in the way of that. In college, I had no sense of self. I had no sense of routine. I think my life was so centered around a man. It's hard to realize that in the moment if nobody tells you and have never really been taught self-identity and self-worth. So when I was in my relationship, my emotions were so heavily influenced by him. If he was in a bad mood, I was in a bad mood. If he's happy, I'm happy. You know what I mean? And I don't think that I was able to have that individual identity. And also I was very young, but I'm going to be speaking to that girl. This is exactly what I would do if I was in her place all over again. And this is exactly what I did to get to where I am now. I hope that this helps guide you in becoming a better, more confident, more self-assured version of yourself. Number 1, I would tell this girl, change is possible. Just knowing that you are not stuck how you are, whatever identity you have adopted, that can be changed. And whatever people tell you that you are is not the full picture. It's not even part of the picture. You are not tied to a certain version of yourself, a certain story that you're telling yourself. You can become whoever you want to be. Everybody has things that they don't like about themselves. Self-love is not loving every single aspect of yourself. Self-love is giving yourself the compassion and the understanding and meeting yourself where you're at right now. It's not about thinking these are my flaws, I have to live with them. That's self-love. No, self-love is like, I accept where I am right now. I understand that my history and my experiences have brought me to this point. And now it's about what I can do with where I'm at, where I can take myself. That's what really matters. And self-love is caring about yourself enough to whip yourself into shape, take action. I was having this conversation the other day. My best friend was telling me that she thinks I think very differently from a lot of people, in that where some people feel overwhelmed by life, maybe hopeless, right? They resort to immediate gratification, scrolling social media, and are looking for an escape from their reality, right? Whereas when I feel that discomfort of my reality and the moment that I am in right now, I do almost the opposite. If I am so uncomfortable with my current state, I am so motivated to change it. And I am more drawn to things that will support my growth, such as reading, podcasts, whatever it is. Like my gratification comes from getting into, okay, I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to take action and I want to change. When she said that, I realized that I was not always like that. The change, I think, comes from realizing that, like we said, change is possible. What you do in each moment really matters. Like there's a book called Atomic Habits where he says the goal is not to go from 0 to 100. It's to get 1% better every single day. And that's going to get you to where you want to go. You can't get better 1% every day if you're not conscious about it, if you're not doing something that's challenging for you. So I think my motivation after hearing that came from wanting to not be the same in a year, right? Like if nothing changed in 1 year if you stayed the exact same. I don't want to be the exact same. Like there are so many things that I want to improve and change about myself. And so yeah, that's the motivation in itself. So realizing that what you do with right now really, really matters. And you can either continue the pattern that you're in and just repeat the same day, like Groundhog Day, over and over and over again, and wonder, and in a year you look back, you wonder why nothing changed. Or you can seize the day, take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. There's opportunities everywhere. Maybe you don't have a lot of money or a lot of resources, but like everyone can get a book and everyone can listen to a free podcast, right? And so props to you for starting this podcast. You're definitely on the right track. That was a long way to say that change is possible and the goal is to get a little bit better every single day. And I think that's why we tend to doom scroll, because we feel overwhelmed. So it doesn't need to be overwhelming. Just choose one thing that you want to work on in the moment. Prioritize what needs to get done. Say your room is a mess, you pick up 5 shirts, then that's a little bit better than where it was before. That's getting a little bit better every single day. Imagine you pick up 5 shirts every single day without putting a new one on the ground and where you would be in a week. You won't see the immediate result, but over time you will, and it will be a breath of fresh air when it finally starts to pay off. And the same applies for when you're working out. Like you're not gonna do 1 rep and see gains. You need to keep doing the reps over and over. Choose to be more motivated by the potential that you have rather than hopeless by your current situation. Okay, number 2, when in doubt, move it out. I just made that up. It's kind of corny. When you don't know what your next step is, when you don't want to think too hard, get movement in. You wake up, you feel tired, you don't want to do anything, go on a walk. You can literally habit stack this. You can scroll and walk. You can go on the treadmill, do your scrolling, watch a YouTube video, but it's just so important to get that movement in. Beyond that, having a fitness routine, you can literally go to the gym 3 times a week and see progress, but you just need to have that plan and that structure. Also, not to tie physical appearance into things so much, but physical appearance does matter, especially when you have low confidence, because when you feel like you're physically taken care of, feeling strong, the confidence kind of follows, right? Obviously, looks can only make you so confident, but if you're feeling like you're in a slump, get that movement in, prioritize that routine. If you can't do anything else in the day, at least just getting movement in, that will make you feel so accomplished. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep the same program for 4 to 6 weeks. That's a good amount of time to start to see results in that program. And then after that 4 to 6 weeks, you can change it up if you're bored or if you want to get more variation. But it's important to do the boring stuff over and over and over, and you'll see better results that way. In middle school, I literally tried every sport that I thought I had to try. Like I did soccer, I tried softball, track, and I remember I told my parents, I hate running. And they just thought I was doomed because every sport you have to run. But now it's so funny because I'm very into fitness and I love weightlifting. And they're like, oh, wow, there actually is a sport for you. There's not one way that fitness routines need to look. You don't need to do Pilates mixed with weightlifting, although I love that. But you don't have to do that if you don't enjoy it and you're not going to stick with it. Go on the path of least resistance. So whatever sounds most appealing to you, do that consistently. Number 4, non-negotiable for becoming that girl is decentering that man. Your boyfriend, your relationship does not and should not be the center of your world. Because when you put somebody in the center, when you give them that much authority in your life, that's a lot of freaking pressure on them to live up to expectations that you might not even voice. And that's a lot of desperation as well that's going into that relationship, desperation over trust. And you can only have trust in your relationship if you have trust in yourself. So putting somebody as your whole world is showing yourself that you're not worthy of being your first priority. Decentering that man comes from 1, building your confidence, 2, knowing what you bring to the table, and 3, becoming interesting. What does it require to become interesting? Like we've all met a person that just captivates us, and that person is experienced in the world. They have hobbies. They talk to different types of people. They don't just fit themselves in one box and play small. Those people put themselves out there, they try new things, and they have stories to tell. And if your man is the center of your world, you have no stories to tell. You have to be able to live your life and then come together with this man and share stories together, share your life, but you can't have him be your whole life. So with that comes having your own hobbies, having your own routine, and your own friends outside of that relationship. All of us have an idea in our head. We have gifts. We have our own special offerings inside of us, and our curiosities are never going to be the same as the curiosities as the people around us. Not entirely. What I'm interested in, and even in my friend group, yes, we are all like-minded and we share commonalities, but our interests and like the things that draw us to different places and hobbies and things are different. And then we get to come together and share that with each other. And so the same would apply in your relationship, or even if you don't have a man, but you are dating or so tunnel vision for whoever it is, we have to step back and first think, am I filling up my own cup first? Does that person realize like the prize that I am? From there, just continue to pour into yourself to make yourself so proud of yourself, to make yourself confident in your worth. Tying your identity to someone else comes from not knowing who you really are. So we need to find what we really are. I talk about this with my bestie in my other podcast episode. So I highly recommend listening to that episode because we go super in depth on this. But I will just say, instead of centering yourself around a man, make yourself interesting independently, and that will improve all of your relationships. So that's honestly a perfect segue. Everybody has a calling, everybody has curiosities that guide them in different directions. And it's about how you honor that curiosity, how you honor that voice in your head that will either lead you to where you should be or keep you stagnant. It's helpful to think back to childhood before you let the opinions of others and like what society wants you to be get in your head. What did you want to do? What interests you? What did people say you were good at? What did people go to you for? What do people go to you for now? And how can you build up that gift? You build it up by honoring it. You build it up by using it every day. I know for me, my gifts, one of them is recognizing the strength in others. And I choose to honor that by making podcasts and by helping others realize that that gift is within them and like giving tips for how to unlock that and how to create your dream life around you, around your unique interests, your unique capabilities. So I choose to honor that. However, I could also choose not to. I could choose to be silent and not put my ideas out there because I'm afraid that it's cringy or that people are going to think I'm trying too hard. But I do not listen to those voices. Of course, sometimes I get in my head about it, but overall, I don't listen to it. And I heard this definition of resilience that I love, and it's that resilient people, confident people, it's not that they don't hear self-doubt and criticism. It's that they choose not to let that outweigh what they ultimately want to do. Again, with or without you, my plans don't change. With or without this person's validation, I'm still going to do what I want to do. How can you take action today and start to build upon your strengths or follow your curiosity a little bit more? Have you always wanted to take a dance class, but you're scared because you have no one to go with? Book the dance class. It's that simple. You will never have growth if you are just comfortable with where you're at. If you're comfortable where you're at and you never take action, you're going to stay exactly the same. Stop playing small. In line with that, stop putting people on pedestals. And this doesn't even apply in relationships. This applies with the girlies on your campus that you're comparing yourself to, the people on social media that are making you question your own beauty. Someone else's beauty does not take away from your own. Get out of that headspace of what a beauty standard looks like and start to unlock your beauty. Everyone can be beautiful. If you think about the people in your life that are beautiful to you, that somehow are so mesmerizing, they are not all the same beauty standard. They do not all look the same. I mean, at least for me, I have so many diverse women around me that I see the beauty in all of them because they own it and they walk around confidently but authentically. A mesmerizing person is somebody that is just unapologetically themselves. I know that's a cliche, but it's true. Someone that is confident in who they are, that they know what they bring to the table, and they take care of their physical. And taking care of your physical does not mean having a certain beauty standard. It means taking care of your body and highlighting your own beauty. in a way that flatters you. I don't want to hear any excuses of like, oh, I have a big nose, so I'm not beautiful. Oh, my teeth are crooked, so I'm not beautiful. Look up people that have those features and that are able to own it. And look at the aura that they radiate. They have aura. They have energy. They have this mesmerizing energy around them because they're able to embrace that and not slouch down and hide themselves because of it. That's unattractive. It's unattractive when you walk with your head down and your shoulders slouched and question everything about yourself. That is what's making you unattractive. It's not the features that you have. There's two sides to social media. You could either choose to let it make you insecure, or you can choose to have it empower you. And you let it empower you by following people, filling your feed with people that have similar traits as you. Someone else's beauty doesn't take away from your own. And with that, let's go into tips for unlocking your beauty. Moisturize every single day. When you get out of the shower, you lather yourself in moisturizer. Your skin's gonna look more hydrated. It's a very clear effect. And another thing, finding out how to do your hair. When my hair is done, I immediately feel better. I immediately feel like I look more put together. And it's not even about like having to do makeup after that. It's just like, oh, my hair looks good. I feel good. So invest that time into learning how to do your hair. Look up different hairstyles that you could try a new one every single day. That could also be the time you replace scrolling with. My hair takes me an hour, and whenever I'm like wanting to scroll, I think, could I just do my hair right now? And then, the following 3 days will be better because my hair will be done. So hair, moisturizer, cleaning up your nail beds, having a weekly skincare, a weekly beauty routine is going to elevate you so, so much. And it's simple. You don't need a bunch of things. You just need a few things. Even like I said, just like the moisturizer, cleaning your nails, trim up your nails every week. Set a day that you're going to do that. Put on a face mask. You can literally put yogurt, Greek yogurt on your face, and that's a face mask. Last few of the non-negotiables, having a clean space. If your space is cluttered, your mind is cluttered. Whether you think you care about things like that or you don't, it's psychologically proven. When your space is crazy, when your space is dirty, your mind is like, oh my gosh, stressed out. Guarantee you clean your room, you clean your kitchen, you are going to feel so much lighter. If you feel overwhelmed about this, use the 2-minute rule, which is where you just set a timer for 2 minutes and you pick up things off the floor. And when the timer ends, then you're done. You're going to feel accomplished that you did the 2 minutes and you still want to do more. So you're going to feel like an overachiever. Clean your room. And my last non-negotiable is saying your affirmations. This is simple. We love simple. Saying your affirmations, or listen to an affirmation brainwashing video. I say brainwashing, they're not called that. I think they're called affirmation meditations, but they just repeat I am statements. I am capable. I am worthy. You listen to that, habit stack it. You do the dishes while listening to it, do your skincare, listen to the affirmations over and over and over. Even when you go to bed, you can listen to them, and it will get in your subconscious and you will start to adopt those thoughts as your own. I think talking nice to yourself is really overlooked when it comes to leveling up, but you have to root for yourself. You have to cheer yourself on. Saying it to yourself as you're getting in the car, I'll be like, oh my gosh, today is a great day. I am so happy to be here. Say it as you're doing things. Your brain will start to see the beauty in yourself and fight for you to win. Okay, let's summarize our non-negotiables for becoming that girl. Understanding that change is possible. You are in control of your life and your narrative. Prioritize your workout routine. When in doubt, move it out. Decenter that man. Make yourself the priority. You are the prize. Know that that's actually going to improve your relationship. Take other people off pedestals and surround yourself with people that embrace their unique beauty and are truly themselves, so that inspires you to be yourself. Pour into your own physical beauty, your own physical self-care routine. Implement that into your weekly routine. Clean your space and your mind correlate. So when your space is clear, your mind is clear. And lastly, say your affirmations, do your affirmation brainwashing, implement that into your daily routine. Thank you guys for making it this far. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helped. If this did, you'll definitely enjoy this video or this video. And I also have been making TikToks and Reels, so little clips of what I'm saying in these videos. Follow me on Instagram, Not Overthinking It Podcast, or TikTok. And always remember, your authenticity is your power. Until next week, see you.